Today we have an amazing soul called Lianna Gardner, and she's an amazing coach. She is an empower, mentor, hard guide, speaker, personal development, and she also into well-being, lifestyle, travel, and health. A few of the things she's involved in. So she's involved in quite a few things, and recently she's also released a book, I believe. Hi, Lianna. How are you doing?
Hi, Zishan. I am fine. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you very much for your time to hop on to Tuesday Talks. And thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
Amazing. So I've done a short introduction for you already, but you're the best person to expand onto that and let us know. So let us know what you do and how did you start? And the biggest question will be like, why do you do it?
Good questions. Good questions. Um, Basically, I am all those things that you said. I'm a best-selling author. I am an empowermentor, a transformational coach, and uh, a motivational speaker. And what I do currently is I help women and men who are at a crossroads in life, meaning people who are in midlife, um, help them reclaim their happiness and gain clarity for their path forward so that they can create the next best chapter of their lives. Um, I transitioned from living a life of other people's narratives for myself, and I discovered my passion in the process, which was actually to help people. What I initially started doing was helping people get off the sidelines and into the game, which was not going through the motions in life and actually doing what it is you feel that you've been called to do in this world. I've spent the last 12 years as a coach, mentor, and speaker, as well as a workshop facilitator. And I also have online courses that I'm developing. They are in the beta testing stage right now. I do group and individual coaching. I also am a workshop facilitator and I do motivational speeches. So I have quite a few things that I do.
Wow, that's quite amazing, and you've got your hands full as well. With all these things going on, and you've got 12 years of experience in across all these platforms that you're working with. Uh, what was that pivotal moment for you that got you to do this, or was there something like filling a gap that you suddenly realized? What was the pivot moment for you that you decided, okay, this is what I want to do?
I've actually had a couple of those pivotal moments. The first one was when I was in a job situation that was literally, I call it sucking the life energy out of me. And it was a very abusive situation. And it was like I had this epiphany one day, and that's how my purpose came into being. It was that I was tired of playing small. I had played small my entire life, and I had been one of those people that dimmed my light for so other people could shine because I didn't think I deserved happiness or success. And so at that stage of the game, I just decided that I was going to choose for me and that I was going to move forward in a different way in life. And actually, I realized that there are so many other people out there just like me who are in situations where you kind of settle in life. You settle for jobs that you don't like because you think that's what you have to do in order to make money or to fulfill a need to be successful in your life. But actually, you end up kind of going through the motions in life because you're not happy and you're not fulfilled. So that was the place that I used as a platform to find what it is my service to humanity was, which is helping people step into the greatest versions of themselves and step out of the comfort zone and discover who it is you really are and what you really want to do in this life.
Wow. So that's a huge pivotal moment and a realization there in terms of, that is something that you need to expand yourself to get what you deserve, and there's more out there for you instead of just settling for I would say the standard settle that is out there, right? So usually people just settle for standard and or low, just as you mentioned, you need to uh, thinking that that's how you make money or that's how you have to do these things to live and get on with life and there, I mean, there's lots of people I've come across as well. So it's it's nice to hear that you are out there helping and guiding them from your own experience as well. You've been through it, so you are understanding their pain and taking them through it. How was that journey for you when you pivoted first and you started this whole journey? Obviously, there were ups and downs, as everybody gets it. But how did you manage those situations?
Oh, the ups and downs came like a flood because because I had been in I had been a professional for about 20 years before I even started my business. And I thought, oh, okay, I found what my passion was and I found what my purpose was, but I wasn't quite sure how to take that and turn it into an actual business. So the initial business I had actually faltered quite a bit because I just wanted to serve. I wanted to serve people. I was doing a lot of things for free. I was actually sometimes even paying for people to come to my events because I wasn't sure about the marketing and everything. So I didn't educate myself as thoroughly as I should have or could have in that particular situation. So although I had some really good, powerful moments, there was so much more that I could have done in order to be successful a lot sooner. But in addition to that, I was still in a place where the old thoughts, habits, and beliefs were kind of creeping in, even in the midst of everything that I was doing, which was absolutely wonderful. And so I tripped over my own hurdles sometimes, and that's kind of the place I was in my evolution. Every coach will tell you that, they're in the midst of transformation themselves. It's a nonstop growth process. So I got to the point in my life recently where I let that go. I decided I wanted to let that particular business go because I had evolved to a different place in my life. And originally, I had been coaching millennials to find their passion and create the life that they saw that they wanted to create for themselves. And it was powerful because I learned a lot from them. A lot of times we have to push our ego out of the way because we can all learn from each other, no matter what age or what age, anything. It doesn't matter. We can help one another grow. And so I stepped out of that into this place where at this particular stage in my journey, I wanted to serve women who were just like me in midlife, who reach a place that I call the happiness dip. It's kind of like a midlife crisis, but you're just not happy because it's this place where you put other people first a good portion of your life as mothers or professional women, we're always serving other people, and whether it's the kids or bosses or whatever it may be. And then we're also going through different biological changes and, caring for family. And there's so many things that we have done up to this point. But what I wanted to share with women like me is that there's so much more within yourself. Instead of just scratching the surface in life, you can dive deeper at this point, because we have this treasure trove of experience, of life experience, skills that we gained on the job, um, this plethora of different things that we can draw from to create this next best chapter of our lives. We don't have to be who we were in the first chapter. We can start anew and create anew, but there's a lot of things that we have to do in order to take ourselves to that level. So that's where my book, Grown Sexy Wisdom, initiated. It was me reverse engineering my journey to get to this place that I am in life, um, because I'm extremely passionate about life and living and serving other people. And central to the theme of who I am is that we are not average. A lot of us settle, like I said earlier, we settle, and we settle for mediocre lives, but sometimes we end up putting dreams on the back burner, and those kind of eat at us for a good portion of our lives. And like there's a lack of fulfillment and, sometimes resentment because we put things for ourselves on the back burner. But at this stage of the game, it's about choosing for ourselves and not being afraid to do it, and putting ourselves first, and deciding that we deserve to have a better life, to have the loves that we want, to have the career that we want, to start our own businesses at this stage of the game, or whatever it is. If you want to travel the world and do different things, it's like the world is completely open to you. You just have to open your mind to it.
And I love this, and thank you very much for sharing and expanding onto this, and also showing your vulnerability there, that the transformation that you went through, and that helped you to bring that book about as well, which is a bestseller as well, right? In its own right, and it's available on Amazon, I believe, right?
Yes, it's on Amazon.
What was the title again?
It's called Grown Sexy Wisdom: Five Grown Ass Ways to Create a Life That Turns You On.
Grown sexy. That's that title is already so wonderful to go out and get it. So are you happy to like share one of those wisdoms with us here in terms of what that people who are on a similar journey are able to maybe look forward to, inspire to, or go and get that book to start themselves off as well?
Absolutely. One of the things that I talk about in the book, actually, one of the five grown ass ways to create a life that turns you on, is to step out of what I call the condition of howitis, which means a lot of the times we let how we're going to do something overwhelm us and stop us in our tracks from doing what it is we want to do. So we get so bogged down in, oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? What do I have to do? What do I have to learn? Um, Whatever it might be, that tends to create a lot of overwhelm. So uh, I know it did for me in my life, because as a perfectionist in my younger days, I wanted to make sure everything was right and that it was perfect before I started anything, because it was a representation of me, and I wanted to be the excellence that I've always portrayed myself as. But as I've gotten older and gained more wisdom, I discovered that I don't have to be perfect. And all I have to do is take action toward that thing that I want to create in my life. And this may get a little woo-woo for people, but it's truly the law of attraction. If you take action, if you visualize what it is that you want to create for yourself, and you can feel it into existence, and there's so many other things involved in that. If you can create that for yourself, then you will allow, if you have to open your mind and your heart to it, which will allow the things that you need for your journey to create this vision for your life. They start showing up in your life. And people think that's magic, and they think that sometimes they think it's a bunch of bull, but it's actually not. It's so true. And it's happened to me so many times in my life and so many people that I know. It's a powerful way of being that truly, truly can help you create whatever it is you want in your life. Um, all you have to do is take action toward it. And I can tell you one thing: when I left my job, that abusive job situation, I had stayed in it for so many years that it was literally killing me. It was disturbing my health, my well-being. But when I decided, and I knew deep down inside, I knew the minute I left there was going to be this huge vortex of everything I ever wanted in my life that was going to come to me. And it did, like a hurricane. It just, boom, I just stepped into situations where I was meeting the people I needed to meet in order to grow my coaching business. I actually met one of the top keynote speakers in the world, and at this particular event that I went to, and I talked to him. I grew a relationship with him. He invited me to training events at his place of business. And then I spoke into existence. I said, this man, I'm going to speak on stage with this man. I just knew it. And so sure enough, a couple of months later, I was planning an event for my millennial clients in September of that year. And this guy, who typically charges $50,000 to $100,000 a speaking engagement, volunteered to speak at my event, at my workshop, and I didn't even have to ask him. It just, he offered to do it one day. I got an email from him, and he said he wanted to participate. But these are all examples of, if you let go and you take the action toward your dream or your goal, all those things will fall into place, because you're going to put yourself in situations where all the possibilities and opportunities that you want in life are going to happen for you. But it doesn't happen if you sit back in your comfort zone and you don't take any action.
I agree with that 100%. And that's an amazing share in terms of how, and even though you said, oh, it might be a little bit woo-woo for some, but there is a science-backed theory behind it as well. There have been I can't remember where and who did that scientific study, but there is a backed study with science as well, because your mind is the strongest muscle in the whole body, right? It can literally create things which are not there, because what you are seeing is because you've told yourself that's what it is. That's what you are seeing, right? You're saying the leaves are green. Are they green? But that's what we tell every day, and that's what we see. The colors, for example, right? And so forth. And I was going to use the example of, that the chairs we are sitting on did not exist before. It was someone's thought. He or she thought of a chair. I want to sit comfortably. how can I do this? Is it's a thought process, mind thought of it. Maybe it was a picture in his mind or her mind, and it came to existence. But it came to existence by taking those right actions rather than just sitting in the comfort zone. Okay, I would love a comfy chair, but I have to get up and go and get it. Oh no, okay, I'll keep sitting here on the floor, for example, and then you just say, oh, I don't really like this floor, but I have to get up and get it. So that just kind of reminded me of those because I do meet quite a lot of people who are in a place of work for over 20 years or something and complain about the company with passion that but but yet they're still there, right? Where I've met people and I'm no longer in that company. I've moved along and grown, but they're not grown themselves. They're still there and just complain about the company that, oh yeah, we're not getting anything. Oh, the company is rubbish. Oh, this and that, right? Everything is wrong with the company and nothing wrong with themselves. uh, it just reminded me of that. And what your thoughts on that? Because obviously there are lots of people out there who are afraid to push themselves to go out of the comfort zone because the comfort zone is happy place, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's funny you should ask that because there was an article that really blew my mind a couple years ago that I read, and it was about how 99% of people fight to stay average. They fight to live mediocre lives. A lot of people don't want to take action because they become apathetic and lazy, and um, they don't want to take the action necessary to go a step beyond or to get uncomfortable. A lot of people cannot deal with getting uncomfortable in order to create the life that they want to create for themselves. Life is not meant to be this whole hum experience. We're supposed to live here. We're supposed to live and experience life. And that's what makes us happy. That's what puts the joy in our veins. That's what uh, gives us the freedom to live the life we want to live. But when we stay stuck, um, typically we're not happy. We become victims. And like you said, we start complaining about things. And when you complain, there's that law of attraction again. If you complain, you keep getting more things that are going to make you complain. It's because it's all about energy. Um, Energy is very important to me. Who I surround myself with, the choice. It's very important as far as the choices that I make in my life at this stage of the game. Like I said, who I surround myself with, who I'm dating, what job, what particular event I'm choosing for myself, or the people that I choose to serve. All of that is, it matters. It matters. So you have to do things to like protect your energy, so that you don't allow other people to like infiltrate your sacred space. And there's so many things that you can do to step out of that comfort zone. And something that's very important to me, we talked about how the mind is so important, but in my book and in the things that I do, a central theme to everything I do is reconnecting people to their truth, which is to me your heart, the core of who you are, which is your center of radiant energy, because the heart the heart is energy. It sends electrical impulses to the brain, and like we literally receive things in our heart first, and then it goes to the brain. So if we have the coherence between our heart and our brain, that's when everything is on fire, and we understand more what life is about. We become aware of those things that light us up and make us happy. And it helps us become better citizens of the world because if we transform those parts of ourselves, because a lot of us tend to live from the neck up just because of the way society is, where we overthink and we forget that we're sacred beings, and this heart that we have is what drives us. It's creates that passion for life, and uh, it's that fearless place that allows us to pursue what it is we want to pursue and live the life that we dare to live.
I love that. That's a good point that no one's actually made, and that the heart is the center of everything. It is creating those electro pulses, to send the signals to the brain, send the signals everywhere. Pumping the blood all over your body. It's sending that across, right? And so it's doing the main job, and sending oxygen levels to everybody, right? Say, hey, you are, be fresh. Um, so, is there a routine that you've continued since you pivoted and you were going through this, huge transformational journey of yours? I'm sure you've tried lots of various routines and rituals, that people like to also call it. Um, what was that finally like worked for you? It might not work for everybody, but what worked for you?
Right. What works for me is getting out in the sun. We don't realize how much we sit inside and work, and getting out in the sun and getting grounded, taking your shoes off, walking in the grass, feeling the earth on your feet, and feeling the sensations of the vibrations going through your body. It just does something for you, that it's how man used to live, before
Mm.
shoes were invented. And shoes, I had been reading that the rubber in shoes prevents us from connecting to the energies of the earth, which is extremely powerful. That's normal. That's what we are supposed to be doing. But we've been conditioned to believe other things just based on how society has evolved. And I also I get near water anytime I can, because that's one reason I moved to California from the Midwest. um, I love being near the ocean. I go to the beach regularly, and I just sit there and breathe in peace. It's like a meditative state for me. So meditation, grounding. I also I love aromatherapy, incense, um, music. Music can change your vibe, your energy. All those things are part of my daily routine because they help keep me centered and keep me balanced.
I love this. I love this. And you're sharing that example of taking shoes off and walking on the grass. It just reminded me of I believe I was about 13 or 14 maybe. And I used to go with my dad early in the morning. He used to love working out in the morning. So he'll take me. It'd be a walk, and I know I'm 100% sure I've got the walking habit from him, because I can walk anywhere. And because he used to take me, because he will do early morning walks. We'll walk to the nearby park, and then he will just take his shoes off and he'll be walking on the grass. He will say take shoes off and we'll be walking on the grass. I'll be like, the grass is wet, the morning moisture and all that. So and it was like, nope, yeah, that's you. He never explained what was happening. So I was just like, okay, let's just do it. And I can now, I can understand is trying to connect with the energy, there. And if you're trying to take it early in the morning, where most of the people are still in bed sleeping, and you are there, you're getting the rawest energy there available. So you're getting it all because no one's come out yet, right? And
Absolutely.
it's 100%. I used to realize that those days I used to go with him, the whole day would have been the best day ever. I would not be tired. I'll be fresh. and things that I would think of would happen, right? So and it's just amazing. I mean, it is turning into a little bit of woo-woo there, but it's the power of energy all around you. So I 100% believe in those energies that you have. Everybody emits some sort of energy, whether that's positive, negative, sad. It's all there, all around us, and that's what we end up attracting throughout the day when we are going through those sort of emotions and those sort of energies, right?
Absolutely. And I didn't know that in my younger days. I learned it through some beautiful mentors that I had probably about 20 years ago. Matter of fact, you were talking about the shoes, your dad and the, walking. I had this naturopath friend back in Ohio, where I'm originally from, and it was, oh my gosh, it was probably about 10 degrees outside this particular day.
Wow.
I was at his office and he made me go outside and walk on the grass with no shoes on. And it was so cold, but it made such a difference because that can shift so much energy in your body. And, um, the things that we've been conditioned to believe are true for us are just the things that we've grown up with, that we've been programmed to believe and do and whatever. But a lot of these things have been around for centuries, thousands of years. And um, it's just, it really is something that truly works for you and helps put you in balance. So a lot of in my coaching and in the book and the things that I do in my own personal life all have to do with that because, again, I believe in the power of energy and keeping myself healthy and keeping myself fit mentally and physically. And it's extremely important, the choices we make, the things that we do, the food we eat, the water we drink, the everything, the clothing you're wearing, the colors you wear, it all affects you because everything is energy.
I love this. I love this. Yeah, everything is energy, and whatever you're trying to do affects your yourself throughout the day or the next day. It does have a trickle effect on your life. Uh, and so the question would be, so when what's your position on decision making side of things? For obviously there would have been time in your growth journey that you had to take some decisions you weren't sure of, or um, you just had to, like to do it or not do it. So that when you were on those pivotal moments thing, how did you decide that, and what would be the something that if somebody is in that crossroad, how would you suggest for that person to take that decision?
Well, um, I call those I call those points, those pivotal points, and I talk about it in my book, is navigating the turning points, which is those crossroads that you come to in life where you're making a decision that affects not only your present moment, but your future. It's those decisions that sometimes you make that years later you're looking back and you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? And how did I get here? You know? So, um, in order to navigate those particular stages, those turning points, you have to truly, truly, truly come to a place where you decide that you matter and that the decisions that you're making for yourself matter. Because I know originally I didn't think they did. I didn't think I mattered. And I thought I had to do everything that, like, I saw my mom doing in order to be a parent. A lot of the path that I took ended up just like hers because I was on autopilot. But I reached a point uh, in mid-game where I was like, this is not making me happy. And it's your choice. literally, it's your choice. No one else can make that decision for you but you. And you have to get to that place where you don't allow the people around you to narrate your life. And living other people's narrative is part of what makes you unhappy and unfulfilled, because we're making decisions for everybody else versus ourselves. So, uh, a couple of things that you can do to navigate that point is to give yourself permission to live the life you want to live. That's a huge one because a lot of people never do that. And it's like, okay, you have permission to do this. You're an adult. You can make those decisions for yourself. And also, becoming aware of the story that you tell yourself about you. That makes a difference, because if you are telling yourself a story that's disempowering, and that's the same story you're sharing with other people, all the decisions you make are going to be related to the old story and not to the new life you want to create for yourself. So that's extremely important, is getting connected and becoming aware of that. And one of the last things I would say is becoming aware of your inner child. What what are the things that light you up? What lit you up when you were a child? What did you create? What did you do every day that made you smile, that gave you joy? And so that's the place you want to come from in order to make those decisions at those turning points.
Wow, that's such a wonderful share. Thank you very much, for sharing this. I'm sure the listeners are gonna take that in and use it to make those decisions that they have to make on those crossroads. Because a lot of people come through those crossroads and they are stumped or stuck, or challenged. And the reason, and as you put it, is to allow yourself to have that lifestyle that you want, or have the thing that you want. And that's the only challenge you have, because you're not allowing yourself, right? You're thinking of what you're conditioned to think of at that moment is others, not yourself. And then once you've made that decision, it's actually not solely based on your own happiness, and as you mentioned, your own inner child having that spark moment, and you just continue, and then end up settling for the average, right?
Yes, exactly. It's like, think about how hard it is for a teenager who's graduating from high school and all the pressure that's being put on them by everybody around them to choose what they want to do for the rest of their lives. That's like a decision. That's at that particular stage of the game in your life, that's a huge decision. And a lot rides on that, because that's going to create many years of your life. So, um, it's those type of decisions that are very powerful. And as adults, and even with my own kids, it was a matter of stepping back and allowing them to decide what it was they wanted to do, because we all came here to do something different. And I allow my family to do those things, to make those choices for themselves. Whether I agree or disagree, I can give advice and whatever my opinion is, but it's up to them ultimately to make that decision, because it's what they came here to do, not what I came here to do.
Wow, that's a wonderful share there. Thank you very much, and giving it us a little bit of insight as well there of how you've allowed your family to just take those decisions and be themselves and expand, not being just as most of the family members are usually under an umbrella of some sort of hand-me-down things coming down to you, right? This is what you need to do. Where are you going? That's it. This is the uni you need to go. Once you finish that uni, this is the job you need to go for. The path is already laid out for you, and you're like, but what if I don't want that? you know. Uh,
Exactly.
so I totally agree with you there, and thank you for sharing this insight. We should be wrapping this up shortly, and you've shared so much great insights here for everybody to take away. It's been great speaking with you as well. Where else your people can get your book from? I know we mentioned Amazon. Is it available from you directly as well?
Yes, directly, because I like to give little personal messages in my book. People can contact me on my at my email address, which is lgardner, Gardner, at liannaempowers.com. Lianna Empowers is my coaching brand. And again, you can get it through Amazon, Kindle, or paperback. And I have a website under development, so it'll be available there as well. And right now, that's where it's available.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I would recommend everybody 100% to check out the book. I mean, from what you've shared so far, it's little snippets of it, and that part has been so amazing. Amazing how, just imagine how wonderful the rest of the book would be to read, and I would recommend everybody to go and get that. So what would you like to say to everybody who's listening to it now, to wrap up the whole conversation that we just had? Is that something you want to say to close it off?
I just want to say it's so important to learn to reconnect to your heart because in today's society, like I said, we get so caught up in our head, which is where a lot of emotions go and things get out of control. But if we reconnect to our heart, that's where we create transformation within ourselves and we create the change we want to be in the world, which is we want a world, we want a greater humanity. So that's the main thing I wanted to share here.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for closing this conversation with such an amazing share there as well. Everybody else who's watching this live or listening to this as a podcast or watching this on IGTV later, if you found a inspiration in this episode anywhere and you had that spark moment, I highly recommend that you now share this episode with whoever and whomever that person is, because if you had that spark, it's our duty now to share that spark with somebody else to alight their spark as well. We shouldn't keep that spark just with us, and we should share it with the world, because we don't know who's just woken up or gone to bed and is thinking of a better day or tomorrow. And if you have that spark with this episode, it might create a spark within them as well. Thank you very much, Lianna, for your time and the amazing journey that you shared. And everybody else, thank you as well. We will see you next Tuesday, everybody. And thank you again, Lianna.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.